Hello YouTube and the M.E.D support group. This is another update. I am really sorry that it's taken me a while to get around to uploading the previous update. I just had some issues with YouTube due to the length and also the fact that this is my final week before I go and have my hip replaced. So I've had a lot going on and been just so busy. To update everyone, had a slight hiccup along the way. I haven't had my pre-assessment done yet, which is usually done anywhere a month to up to usually around about 2 weeks before you have your hip replaced. But unfortunately, I still haven't had mine done. I had to get my child sorted out with her childcare. Once I'd notified them that I got all that sorted, I never really heard back from them. So I chased it up and chased it up. I spoke to them last Friday. I spoke to Mr. Hook's lovely coordinator lady, and she promised me that she was going to call me. And so obviously we've had the May bank holiday, so I was waiting to hear from her, so I thought I'll give her a call on Tuesday and see what's going on, just to make sure that everything is going along nicely. I know that I spoke to her on Friday and she said that it was definitely all going ahead and everything was sorted and that she would get me in ASAP and call me. So I called her. She then notified me that she'd left me a message on my phone, and that's when she dropped the bombshell. Mr. Hook wasn't in on the 11th of May, which is this coming Monday. So that just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was devastating because I've had to get my daughter. We've had the settling in days at nursery, so she gets used to the being somewhere else and not around me, because I look after her pretty much 24/7 with the help of my other half when he's not working. So I had to get her sorted out with the settling in days, and then once I'd done that, I wanted to get her started just before I went and had my hip done, so it wasn't too much of a change for her. Like me going into hospital and her being at nursery, I thought it might be a bit too much in one go. So I thought we'd do it gradually, because obviously I'm not going to be as tactile and being able to do as much with her as she's used to. So I didn't want to do it all in one go. So this week she's been going to nursery. So I was a bit devastated to be told on today that it's been pretty much cancelled and postponed. I was hoping when I asked when it was going to be rebooked for, that she was going to tell me, oh, it'll only be, say, a couple of days, few weeks at the most. But no, she told me that it was going to be the 12th of June, which is a month away. Now, due to finances and everything, and the fact that childcare is so expensive, it's around about £42 a day, even more in some nurseries, less if you go for a childminder. But I couldn't find anywhere locally that was free or had any free spaces other than a normal nursery. So luckily I managed to get in touch with the council and explain to them that my parents are disabled. We don't have any other family other than my parents locally, and we just don't have the finances available for full-time nursery while I'm having my hip replaced, and my other half can't take that amount of time off work because they won't keep his job open for him. So I explained that, look, we've got all this sorted, and thankfully they've put aside enough to do like 3 to 4 days of childcare for somewhere between 8 to 9 weeks, depending on how many days she does go and everything. So yeah, they've allocated around about £1,500 to help out. So she has somewhere to go, and I have time to look after myself. And and it's mainly because my parents aren't able to help look after her. My dad has a sarcoidosis, which is an autoimmune lung problem, and my mum's got the same thing that we all have, M.E.D. She's had 5 hip replacements and a shoulder replacement, so she just can't run after an 18-month toddler. It's just not going to happen. So thankfully they sorted all that out and helped us out. But when I got the bombshell that my hip hop might be postponed for a month, yeah, that was pretty much going to eat up pretty much a massive chunk. Either that or I was going to have to take her back out of nursery and put her back in again. And I really didn't want to do that because that's just no good for her well-being and the routine. So I broke down and cried on the phone. Felt a bit silly for it, but I broke down and cried and said that it can't be postponed, or it can't be postponed by that much. It can't be a month. I've got everything prepared. My other half's taking time off work. I've got the house sorted out. I've got Sylvia into a routine. I've got her going off to nursery. Her place is booked and paid for. The council have got involved. And just also, I've got myself mentally psyched up for it because it is a big operation. It's not just something small and insignificant. It's going to affect me for 6 months, if not up to a year. Onwards, and that's if it goes okay. If it doesn't, then it could affect my life forever. But looking on the positive side, I'm hoping it's going to be all for the positive. So, fingers crossed and thumbs up for that. So, so she phoned me back. Luckily, the coordinator lady, and explained to me that it is going to go ahead for the 11th of May. She was very sorry for upsetting me and worrying me. And that I'm not quite sure whether Mr. Hook was just in a different hospital or was just somewhere else, or whether he got a holiday booked or what. But she said that he wasn't there. So, by the sounds of it, they must have called him in or something, because of the fact that it's going to have such a knock-on effect, me not having it done on the 11th of May, that they're going to sort it out for me. So I'm having it done, still doing it for the 11th of May, this coming Monday. And I have my pre-assessment tomorrow. Now, I've been told I need to get there by 9 o'clock. And it's going to be up to 4 hours, which is a long time. They have said that the pre-assessment before you have hip replacement done is very extensive. As well as the fact that they don't always see you exactly on time because of the fact that they're having to deal with other people who are having pre-assessment for hip hops, and they are extensive and very detailed. They have to go through all sorts of things. What I'll do is, once I've gone tomorrow and had that done, I will record another video and just go through exactly what it entails. I'm guessing it's going to be things about like taking my height, weight, other measurements, medical history of anaesthetics and things, as well as the amount of drugs that I'm on currently, what type they are, and all that. So I'm thinking that that's what it's going to be on, but they have said that it's quite extensive, so there might be more involved in that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'll once I know, I'll upload a video and say how well that went. But I've got to get there by 9 o'clock tomorrow, so my poor other half's got to take Sylvia to nursery, even though he's working nights. I've done a bit of preparation for going into hospital. I've got a bag packed that I've been sort of chucking things in as I go along for the past few weeks. What I'll do is I'll do another video to show you once I've got the letter, because when I go for my pre-assessment tomorrow, they're going to have the letter, which will detail everything of where I need to go, what time I need to be there, what I need to be wearing, what I should bring in with me, and all of that stuff. Once I do the video about the pre-assessment, I'll also include what the letter involves as well. And sort of what you should expect. And I'll do a video of like what I'm going to be taking into hospital with me. I know that I'm going to be in there for a minimum of about 5 days, and they're hoping to get me out by then. But as us M.E.D people, our hip replacements are slightly more complicated than the average hip replacement. It could be longer. So I'm sort of preparing that it could be longer than that. I was in, when I had my daughter, I was in for hospital for 5 days then. And I can tell you then, when you're in hospital and you can't really move around, you get bored quite quickly. So, and you can never have enough clothes, pants, and loads of other stuff. Just things that you can sit and play with and everything else. I'm trying not to take too much, but I'm trying to take enough. Because I was constantly having to like phone my parents or my other half and say, can you go and get me this? Can you go and get me that? Can you get me this? Can you get me that? So yeah, I'm going to hopefully put another video up in the next day or so once I've had my pre-assessment done of what that includes. And I'm also opening up the stage to you guys. What do you want to know? Have you got any questions? Any questions either specifically about myself or about pregnancy, medications, hip replacements, anything really, anything, M.E.D, sort of the way it affects your parenting. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. If there's anything you guys would really want to know and you want to ask, I'm not saying I am the font of all knowledge, but I've had a child. I'm going to be having a hip replaced. I know quite a bit about M.E.D, and what I don't know, I can find out because I'm going to be seeing my consultant. I might see him tomorrow, but if not, I'm definitely going to be seeing him on the 11th of May. So I have time then to ask him a few questions. So, yeah, if you want to just ask anything, anything you specifically want to know, even if it's just about myself, like where I'm from, or, yeah, how I came about to sort of get involved with sort of learning about M.E.D and how it affected my childhood, or anything like that, feel free to ask, and I will answer as many as possible. And I'm hoping that this has been a bit informative, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me a while to get the last couple of videos up. It's been really, really hectic and manic because I'm desperately trying to get the flat sorted out so I can move around in it, because I moved about a month or so before I'm going to be having my hip done, because the last place we were in, I had to get through a security door, a fire door, and then my front door. And it was just impossible, especially when you've got a pram and a baby and everything. Having my hip replaced, it just wasn't going to work. And the fact that I didn't have any garden or anything like that, or garage, so the place was pretty crammed full of stuff. And Sylvia got bored, so yeah, we moved to go to a better place that's got a garden and everything. So yeah, it's taken us a while to get everything sorted out. We've had to do a few things around the place. And try and get everything packed away and sorted out, so I've got a nice, neat sort of place to move around in. Yeah, I will keep you all updated, and I'm hoping that everything goes okay tomorrow, and that I don't have another scare of it being postponed or cancelled, because that was just a total nightmare. I was totally devastated and crushed with the possibility it could be another month, because it would be just another month in pain, another month of things being awkward, another month of me having to take Silver in and out of nursery, and also the longer you have before the op, the more chance there are that you could get bumped off because of emergencies or anything. They usually don't postpone or cancel you unless there's a major issue, or someone's had like someone needs emergency surgery. And I've been told that if you've got a scheduled hip hop, they don't usually cancel it or postpone it. For around about, if you get to about a week before you have your hip done, then you can pretty much guarantee you're going to have it done. Not unless you get there on the day and there has been an emergency. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it'll all go smoothly. And the last thing I've got to be doing is just sort of tidying up the place, making sure everything's sorted out, trying to get Sylvia into a routine with going to nursery and everything, and then sort of relaxing myself. I've done a bit of final sort of shopping trips and everything else. I went down to Brighton the other day, and I'm going to be taking my little girl to Peppa Pig World on Friday to sort of make up for the fact that I won't be able to do much with her for a while. So I'm going to be fairly busy, but I'll try and keep you all updated of what's going on and everything. I'll make some videos and everything of when I go into hospital. I'm going to see if I can get them to take some photos of what my hip replacement looks like, and just other bits and pieces. And I wish you all a lovely evening, and all morning, all day. And I'll keep you all updated. Don't forget, I'm opening the floor to you guys with a Q&A, so please ask me anything, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright then, good luck and best wishes to everyone. Alright, thank you, bye.